One of my favorite coaching cliches is I don't have a crystal ball, which means you don't either. But how do you see the next 6 weeks in the Packers Aaron Rodgers saga playing out, Lewis?
Yeah, I think Aaron's going to be doing a whole lot of what he was doing just the other day, which is hanging out, maybe having maybe making a few statements now and then to some of his buddies in media, playing some golf. And the Packers better be doing exactly what they're doing right now, which is trying to figure out how to make sure Jordan Love is ready to go. Because, Rich, the more this goes, the more I see that the Packers have kind of dipped into the petty pool, as I like to say. Like, they want to go back and forth and have these, and Mark Murphy in particular. I shouldn't say the Packers. This really just seems a Mark Murphy issue. Wants to make these comments about Aaron. Aaron's not going to sit back and take that lightly, so he's going to make as many comments as he needs to in retaliation. It just seems like a situation that's going nowhere fast. And I think getting all the way back to why we're even here in the first place, I think it's because of this kind of thing that we're seeing playing out right now, which is a failure to communicate, a breakdown in a relationship. It's really not – it doesn't seem to be any more any more complicated than that. And it doesn't shock me. I've seen it happen before in my time, both as a player and in front office. When communication breaks down, especially when you're talking about star players, man, that's just not a good recipe for healthy relationships in today's day and age, because players are demanding more and more. Player empowerment has become the norm. It's not the exception anymore, especially with the upper echelon players. And it's going to be that way across all sports. Football couldn't avoid it. It just couldn't. I mean, all we do in our profession now is talk about how the game is better, and it's better for us to talk about when quarterbacks are at the center or the centerpiece of the discussion. Well, here you have one who's a lock to be a Hall of Famer, and you've got someone at the highest levels of an organization getting into like a petty little fight with him. Well, I shouldn't say a petty fight because this is a big-time fight, but someone who right now can't seem to kind of manage a communication breakdown in an adult-like manner. And that's just that's disappointing, but it's going to stay in the news. We're going to continue to talk about it, but it's going nowhere fast.
Well, the question is if the communication from Green Bay at some point has been, and I'm sure we can agree that it has been, the question has been posed, what do you want? What do you want? And the question, the answer that might come back is something that the Packers can't literally or figuratively give. The literally thing is turn back time. They can't do that. Yeah. We can't get into the football DeLorean and set the time and date for the 2020 NFL draft. Can't do that. Also can't get back in the DeLorean and set the time for this past winter when potentially, if this did in fact happen, that the Packers did put a contract on the table for Aaron to sign as an extension, but did not give the terms and the dollars that would force them to make a move with Jordan Love after Rodgers is done with the gig. Can't go back in the DeLorean and do that if that pissed off Rodgers either. Can't go back in the DeLorean and fix the Jake Kumaro situation. Can't do that. But and they're not going to fire Gutekunst if that is in fact what Rodgers wants. They're not going to do that. What is it? Like what is it that he wants?
The only thing that I think inevitably what's going to happen here is he's not going to be there. He's just not. And I don't think, I don't necessarily think he wants to get in, and I like that. I mean, I don't think he wants to get into DeLorean, that being Aaron. I think sometimes, Rich, it just gets personal. It just gets to the point where you just say with someone or something, I'm done with it. I'm done. There's nothing, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't. Because quite honestly, while it was happening, while the breakdowns were happening, you didn't want to talk. You made your bets. You forecasted the future in a way that obviously turned out to be wrong. And in this case, they thought Aaron was turning downhill after the 2019 season. They thought that he had already crested the mountaintop and it was all downhill after that. And he has said many times that he threw a monkey wrench into their plans with the 2020 season that he had. He just did. He screwed up the whole timetable for them. They thought they could get another year out of him, and then they would be able to usher in the Jordan Love era. And it would be nice and smooth, and they would control it. And he messed it all up for him. And a guy like that, he doesn't want anybody controlling anything. He'll tell you when he's done. He'll tell you when it's when it's time to move on. He'll tell you when the relationship is over. That's just how he's wired. I don't have any problem with that. I mean, I get it. I've always said, look, egos don't bother me, man. Everybody at this level, at the highest levels of whatever you're doing, has egos. But they had a different agenda than he does. That's the problem. It's agendas that blow this kind of thing up. And I think he is just going to ride this thing out. He's going to lose a lot of money.
Yep.
And the Packers don't have to do anything. If you want to look at it from their standpoint, they don't have to do anything but get their team ready. The inflection points are when the season starts and then the trade deadline. And then after that, it's the draft next year. Those are the three key inflection points that Aaron is staring at right now.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.